All right, yo, what up? This is y'all shook up. Just gonna show you guys a little nice build. Really enjoy this build. This build is very strong, very fun to play, super easy to play in my opinion. There's a lot of things you can do to it. Remember, just because I'm putting the build together, that you don't you can kind of tweak it to your play style, but this is how I like to play it. Obviously, before we get into that, I had to say thank you guys so much for all your support. You guys always hook it up on all the views, and I can't thank you enough. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys like the 1vx clips and stuff. I do live stream Sundays and Tuesdays. It's been kind of rough trying to live stream Sundays and Tuesdays because I'm just moving, but I still trying to keep videos going as I'm moving. And then the internet and everything's been just, I don't want to stream, and it's just not, it's all choppy and stuff. So but yeah, I mean, you guys can make the 1vx videos out of this. I'm actually putting together a whole bunch of clips from all my builds into one video to 1vx, so that's going to be nice. Also, something about the pure class. Now, if you guys seen the video before this video, you know how I feel about pure classes. I love them. But anyways, that's not about that. So we'll get into the build. Alrighty. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know why. I feel like I'm supposed to tell you guys something, but can't think right now. So let's get into the stats. Now, we got 34, 33, almost 30, 34, 3,000 crit, 31% weapon crit. Your recoveries are insane. You don't need this much recovery. You basically it's just there. 28, 33, 20, very strong. I really, really like this build. Probably one of my favorite builds, to be honest. But it's hard to say because I like all my builds. You know what I mean? You got 30, almost 31, 30, 29 crit, and 48 weapon damage, and 38.5 weapon crit. And look at the recoveries. Like I said, you could switch out a glyph to make your damage even higher. You essentially really don't need this much recovery because you got the sets that I'm running. You'll see, like you can. I'll kind of give you an idea what you can use, because you can get that up to like almost 6,000 weapon damage. You put a certain glyph on there, you're around 5,000 plus everything, and you're hitting extremely hard. So I am running the lady just for a little extra tankiness, and I am running Bewitched Sugar Skulls, and I did put ESO plus recently just because it's so hard without ESO plus with the craft bag situation. You know what I mean? It's like your shit fills up so quick. So now we'll get into the sets. All right, now this is a gimme. I try to keep it simple and try to keep it the same sets over and over and over. It's just different skills, different combinations. The reason why I use the same sets over and over and over is because to make the build easy. So you'll essentially have a bunch of different options with the same set. So you can kind of combo all the skills you want together, but use the exact same sets. So something like Essence Thief, it's a staple. It's strong. Obviously, it adds, if you, it's funny because most of you guys played this game, but if you haven't played this game and you are new, it adds max stamina, another max stamina, 129 weapon and spell damage, and then it deals damage with light and heavy attack, draws an essence from an enemy that pulls near them for 5 seconds, drawing from the pool heals you for 4,400 and 4,443 health, restores 4,356 stamina, increases your damage done by 10% for 10 seconds, and can, basically pull every 10 seconds. So this is an extremely strong set. I don't know about the best, but I personally think it's at least top 3 for sure. But it is extremely strong, right? And I like to run weapon damage enchant, boost up your damage, sharpen, get you a little bit more impin, which I have 7,000 impin, by the way. I don't know if I went over that, but you can look at the stats, you can pause it, whatever you got to do. 7,000 impin. Now, for the back bar, I run good old Retro Vitality. And this is why I'm saying that you don't actually have to have that that high of recoveries, because you're basically this set right here. So, Retro Vitality, I like to put defending on it, increase your spell resistance by 1638. Then you have recovery, magic recovery, stamina recovery, spell and weapon damage. While in combat, apply a major buff or debuff with the duration to a target grants you 260 max, not max, 260 magicka and stamina, recovery for 15 seconds while in combat. Apply a minor buff or debuff with a duration to a target. Grants you 130 magic and stamina recovery for 15 seconds. So this set is one of my favorite sets. You could do rally back bar and put Raska on the front bar to give you more recovery, but essentially this is how I like to play it with, the next set. And now before I get into the next set, not the next set, but the monster set. For the back bar, I like to use multi-chant impin on the shield. So it gives you, a little bit of mix of all pulls and impin. You don't have to run this. I don't know why I'm using it, but I am. And then Balorgs. Super strong set. It would be nice to have a heavy helmet. I don't. I need to farm it, so it's medium. But I run a multi-chant, and I run impin. Now, what this does is essentially gives you more damage, but also when using ultimate, you gain ability spell and weapon damage equal to the amount of ult consume and physical and spell penetration equal to 23 times the amount for 12 seconds. So this thing essentially, once you're at 500 Balorgs, you drop it on someone. If you time it right, they're going down. Obviously, it's all timing. You know what I'm talking about. So if you time it right, boom, they're dead, right? And so one piece trainee, it's always good to have this. Gives you health, in pin, and a multi-chat. And I'd run heavy. Now, I have to run heavy shoulders. It would be nice to have heavy head and medium shoulders, but I don't have it. So the shoulders are obviously Balorg. In pin, multi-chat, heavy. If you can, medium. Light, Wretched Vitality, Stamina, and Pin. Heavy, hands, multi-chant, and Pin, which is also Wretched. Wretched, legs, heavy, multi-chant, and Pin. Feet, essence, medium, multi-chant, and Pin. Now, also, hopefully you guys are watching the whole video through. Where you get Essence Thief is White Gold Tower. Someone asked me that, and I was surprised, but they were new to the game, so it's at White Gold Tower. So if you want Essence Thief, you got to go farm White Gold Tower. You can farm it on normal, simple dungeon. You'll be fine. And then you got Essence Necklace, not a multi-chat, but it is a multi-chat technically, but adds 278 weapon damage and 16 recovery. Now, this is what I did different. I put infused instead of swift because orc's super fast, and we were going to go over what race I was running, but I'm running orc. It gives you speed and stuff, and like I said, we'll get to that part, but essentially, I don't need swift. I run infused. Now, this also changed. I'm running 278 weapon and spell with a max magical recovery, also infused. I used to run it was like blood something where, the lower they get, it's easier to finish them. Calm down on that. But it's easier to finish them off. So essentially, that was real clutch on that. But I kind of like this better. And then gains, this right here, Mark of Majesty, one of the best mythics in the game. You can run that new mono myth on this and you will be just fine. Gains 100 weapon and spell damage, 1,157 armor for every set you are wearing 3 or more pieces of. So I'm wearing, obviously, Essence and can't think, on Wretched. And then this is where you could change this up. So the recovery, so we'll just do that. So you guys see my recovery. You don't have to have recovery, as you can tell. You could just put this on. Infuse gives you more damage. Now check this out. This thing even slaps harder. So now you're at 58, 52, 5,234. This and 38.5. I mean, this thing slaps 78. I mean, the penetration's high. Everything's. I mean, and look at your recovery. You're gonna slap somebody. They're gonna get slapped. They're gonna get confused. They're gonna be pissed. So that's the sets. If you spec it out like this, and then you just switch this to heavy and this to medium, you're literally clutch. And then if you can, but see, here's the problem. You could switch this right here to I think if you go medium here and heavy here, heavy here and medium here also will give you more more armor. So that's a way to do it. And Like I was saying, you don't need Swift because we are running good old Orc. For new players, basically this part doesn't matter. You get, this matters, increase your max stamina by 1,000, increase your max health by 1,000. When you deal damage, you also heal stacks with essence. This can occur every 4 seconds. This is the clutch. Increase your weapon and spell damage by 258, reduces the cost of sprint by 12%, increase your the movement speed bonus of sprint by 10%. So you definitely want to take that in consideration. Now the skill lines we're using is Animal Companion, Assassination, and Storm Calling. Now we'll go through why we use Animal Companion. I know that most of you guys know, but because you'd be surprised how many new people are actually playing this. I know it sounds crazy, but they're not new. They're new to PvP. It's like, man, I've been playing this for years. I barely get into PvP. They've been to PvE for 2-3 years. Now they want PvP. So anytime an Animal Companion skill ends, you're healed. Perfect. Casting an Animal Companion ult. Perfect. Increase your magicka and stamina recovery by 20%. Perfect. Increase your critical damage 5% for each animal. There you go. Perfect. Now this skill line is broke. No, I'm just kidding, but crazy strong. Increase your crit chance rating against enemies you are flanking by 1448, increasing chance critical strike by 6.6. Great. When an enemy dies within 2 seconds of being damaged by you, you restore 1,000 magicka and stamina. Can't go wrong. Increase your critical chance rating by 548 for each assassination ability slotted, increasing your chance to critically strike by 2.5% per ability. Definitely can't go wrong. Increase your critical damage 10%. Dealing crit damage grants you and your group minor savagery, increasing your weapon and critical by 13. Look at that. That's insane. So, very strong, very, very strong skill line. And if you stack this with a skill line, I think I already put that build video out. That shit is nasty. I love playing that build. These skill lines are strong, and with the new changes coming up, I'm curious to see how that works, because I really do like pure classes. And then this skill line, increase your health and magicka stamina recovery by 141. That's clutch. Increase your physical and shock damage by 5%. I don't really have any shock damage. I could put some shock damage, but essentially, if you're going to do shock damage, that doesn't really benefit me in any way, but, the physical. So increase your physical. So that's, all I really care about. Increase your damage done against enemies by 1% for every 10% current health they have. Perfect. This doesn't benefit me, only on the back bar. So, but it just still helps with healing on the back bar. And the skills, healing contingency. This is your basically your charm, your stun, however you want to put it. But what I like to do is I like to have a heal, and then I like to have Warden's Charm. Now Warden's Charm, it's class mastery, so you have to do a lot to get the. It's like you have to do these scripts, you have to consume them. It's a whole process. I would just look it up on YouTube. I do have a video about it, but someone could probably explain it better than I can, to be honest. But Charm is great. Creates an 8-meter area for 2 seconds under your target. Once every 8 seconds, the snare enemies by 70% and charm them for 3 seconds. When it expires, if no enemies are charmed, you restore. So you're just, like I said, you don't really need the recovery on this. Grants you major and savagery. And, oh, you know what? This wasn't supposed to be like this. Matter of fact, it's supposed to be, I can't believe I'm going to have to do this. I could have swore I had it there, but we have to do it for the build. Actually, you know what? What am I doing? I don't have to go to no damn vault. I can do it right here. So, you want to go like this, and then protection. So you want to go protection, right? And the reason why you want protection is, check this out. Grants you minor protection for 22 seconds, reducing damage taken by 5%. Bingo, you're tankier. And then, so this is a great skill. My opinion, it's perfect with this. Merciless Resolved. literally gives you, I mean, look how cheap it is. And then on top of it, you get crit rating, and then you get a fully charged, I mean, just read it. I mean, it's crazy. Light or heavy attack generates stack immersive resolve up to 10 times. Fully charged heavy attack grant 2 stacks. When at 5 or more stacks, you can consume 5 to fire a spectral arrow. I mean, look at the damage on that. And imagine that hits with beetles. I mean, ugh. Damage and heal for 51% of the damage dealt if you are in melee range. Now, I normally like to run. I'm a wrecking blow kind of person, right? It's always been my thing. But this skill, I mean, like, once you buff up and you get all your buffs going, I mean, this skill hits pretty hard. I mean, really hard. So, slash enemy dealing 10,870 physical damage and apply a sundering status effect. If a strike of an enemy, their flank, you set them off balance, which is also cool. This attack will also guarantee to be a crit strike up to once every 3 seconds. So, I didn't realize how strong this is, and I don't have it maxed out yet, so it's only going to be stronger. I'm pretty sure I get a little bit more damage when it's level 5. If not, let me know, but I'm almost certain. Killer's Blade, another strong. I love this. It's quick. You just stab them. Literally, it says precision to stab an enemy. So, yeah, this is for when they're low, and then you heal. So, it's great. Deep Fissure. This is one of my favorite skills in the game. Biggest thing is minor and major breach. You know, you can't go wrong with this. Thing hits stupid hard. So I would definitely choose this if you can. And then Dawnbreaker. You don't have to go Dawnbreaker. You can go in cap. Nothing wrong with that. It is extremely strong either way you go. Or you can go bunk. If you want to go bunk, go bunk. You will literally slap people with this with bunk too. So no matter which way you go, it's strong as shit, right? And then back bar, I like to use Vigor. Super strong heal. I mean, this is one of the most clutch heals in the game. And you get physical and spell resistance for 20 seconds. And you get 2,900. I mean, so this is fairly strong. Don't sleep on Vigor. Always get Vigor. Healing Soul. Super good heal. Probably the strongest in the game. I mean, you're healing for 11,000, then you're healing 4,805 overtime, and then grants you major vitality for 10 seconds, increasing your healing receive and damage shield by strength by 12%. I mean, super strong. Okay, and then the strongest, my favorite skill in the game, hands down. Why? Because I just like to spam stuff. I just like it's free, and look, you can heal. This amazing skill, right? So, you know, Call of Betty Netch by your side restores, you know, Magicka over 25 seconds, and then major brutality and sorcery, increasing your weapon and spell by 20%, and every 5 seconds the Netch removes one negative effect. If you don't do any negative effects, you get 5% damage done. Is that not crazy? I mean, that's crazy. And this skill is just super strong. I mean, you're basically going to hit people really hard with this, which is absolutely insane. You know, you hit people hard with. I mean, look at the way it looks too. It looks cool. So you're essentially, you know, with enemies dealing 1,677 physical damage, 2 seconds every 20 seconds. The wind grows damage and size, increasing up to 102% more damage. And then you get major and minor expedition. I mean, you get major resolve and minor expedition, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 5,948 and your movement speed by 15%. Like I said, you don't need, you know what I mean? You don't need to do anything with that. It's just there. Now, you can use Streak, like Bolt Escape, right? But I don't play that way. So I personally like Bird of Prey. Excuse me. Invoke the Spirit Against to gain major expedition for 6 seconds. Excuse me. Increasing your movement speed by 30%. Gain immunity to snare and immobilizations for 4 seconds. While slaughtered, you gain minor evasion, reducing damage from area attacks by 10%. Super clutch, super strong. One of my favorite skills in the game. these little 2 combos are nasty. And then spell wall. You're just not going to die. That's just the way it goes. So that's the build. Now, I'll show you the combo. But, like, look at the... You hit this, and then you hit this, and you're just out. You know what I mean? Oop. And so I always show you guys. Now, I'm not a parsing person or anything. I'm just showing you skill, right? So what I like to do is as soon as I get this right, now you can hit, you see, you're going to charm him with that. And then you're going to wait for the second one. So, okay, so that was a mess up. So this is what you want to do. So let's get Merciless resolved real quick. I like to show it this way because when I was watching build videos back in the day, this is what I wanted to see. Them break down what they were doing because it didn't really help. Like when I seen 1vx videos, like I knew they could X, so I wasn't too worried about that. I was like, how are they doing this? Like I had to watch the X video over and over just to kind of understand what buttons they were pressing. So like me, I always like to hit Vigor first. I hit my Major Resolve. You don't have to worry about Betting Edge because it always heals you. So essentially, you go kind of off the skills that are the longest. In this case, it would be Betting Edge, and then it would be so you're gonna heal with Vigor. So I kind of go Betting Edge. This you don't really have to have Bird of Prey and someone's on you unless someone's on you. But so now that you have this right, so you want to so you want to get this right. So the two's coming up now. You see now that they're gonna be charmed, and then you want to try to time that. So essentially, so you see how he's charmed? Okay, so let's do this right here, okay? So we're gonna hit the first Beetles, right? We don't need the first Beetle. So you get that. Okay, now he's charmed, right? And then we're waiting for that. There we go. And then you can finish him off with a Dawnbreaker. And then into a thing. So it takes some time to practice. But this is the best way to practice, if you ask me, is you come to like a dummy or whatever, and then you time it so okay, the first Beetles doesn't matter. You're really waiting for the second. See, they're charmed, so they'll probably be moving. So you want to kind of try to charm them at the same time as the Beetles are going off. So it's tough because you're like, okay, I got these two, right? So you got 5 seconds, 3. So now now they're charmed. Try to spam it. Oh. See what I'm saying? So if you can time it just right too with a Dawnbreaker, so essentially you're just kind of spamming this to try to get them, right? You got 2, 3, 2, boom. See what I'm saying? And then into this. So it's a lot to practice, but once you get that down, once you get this down, I mean, you got everything going right for you, right? Because you got that 1 Beetles, okay, 1 Beetles, right? You're like 3, 2, 1, spam. See? So it's a work in progress, but once you understand how this works, see, you got 1, right? 1 out of 2 that went off. Okay, so we'll go like this. Let's reset. So you got 1, and then you could even hit them again. So essentially you want to time this. Okay, so if I just stand here, right? Let's get this So you're always going to want to start with Beetles because you got that. And you could even go to really, you see how I get? And then you got 3. Ooh, almost at the same time. And then you hit him with a Dawnbreaker. I just didn't have the Dawnbreaker. But you kind of get what I'm saying. So it's essentially, we'll do it again. Here, so doesn't really matter. 1 Beetle, right? And you're just kind of doing your thing. And then hit him with that. And then, ooh. And then follow up again. See what I'm saying? So it's a lot. Like it really is a lot of damage. It really is a lot of damage. So I truly like this build. I mean, it's a strong build. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, tell me what you guys think. I know you guys want to see 1vx videos. That's why I say come watch my streams, come watch me live. It looks better. It's, I need to make some X videos, but it's hard with moving, the way I work and everything. X videos, you have to actually edit. I'm more of a one and done. I just put the video out and send it. You know what I mean? Because I'm so busy and I want to share these with you because, I want to fight people on the battlefield fairly. Everybody, I'm not trying to gatekeep nothing. I'm literally trying to put the meta in your hands. So when you run across me, maybe you put me down. Now I go to sleep. You know what I mean? So once again, I appreciate all the support and take it easy, guys. Out.